Today's edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox is brought to you by Batch New Southern Kitchen and Tap, Fort Lauderdale.
Hold the mayo. It's time for Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Find out what's being served with Mike, Beefo, and Lubie, the only show that covers food, sports, and the proper maintenance of your car. And now, a man who had the distinction of having an entire health clinic named in his honor, Mike Mayo.
I want the flim flam sauce with the awesome fave, with shafafa on the side.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. And boy, I'm all amped up because I've got kind of a sugar rush even before I started in on all the lovely treats we have here. We're at Norman Love Confections. It is a new store, relatively new, opened
Correct.
about 6 weeks ago, and we are here with the brand's CEO, Lisa Fisher. Made the drive across the coast, and welcome so much for inviting us out here.
Well,
And I apologize. This has not.
and we are
happened.
on, and we are here at Norman
Oh.
Love Confections in Boca Raton, Florida, with
Okay,
the
we're
lovely
back.
Lisa. We are on. Yes,
Okay,
sir.
so welcome back. Sorry for
Sorry
the
about that.
technological glitch there, but I am going to get us back loaded onto the Let's Eat South Florida group. And before we do, Lubie, how are you doing
I
today?
am doing well. I'm really excited. As Lisa was talking to me about it, my wife, as we all know, is pregnant, and she has an interesting pregnancy where she can't eat too much, actually. So we haven't been indulging in a lot of sweets at the house. She's been one to want to keep her, as they say, figure, even though I keep reminding her there's a human growing in you. So there's only so much figure you're going to keep, but good for you, my love. So I'm very excited to be here surrounded by great pastries and great chocolates.
Yes, and again, if you missed the original opening, we are at Norman Love Confections. It is a growing brand that had its start on the west coast of Florida in Fort Myers, and we're with the CEO, Lisa Fisher. Welcome again,
Thank
and
you.
sorry for
No
welcome
worries.
to the internet age. It's
Right.
wonderful that we can kind of load up and get broadcast from pretty much anywhere in the world, as long as there's Wi-Fi or a hotspot.
Yeah,
But now we got the
exactly.
hotspot going.
And we're working.
And you were about to talk about Norman Love is a real person.
It's a real person. Yes, he was blessed with that beautiful name. He is actually a famous pastry chef. A lot of people don't realize that he started in pastry. He was born in Philadelphia, quickly moved down to this coast. I mean, he went to school in Hollywood.
Hollywood, Florida.
That's correct. He went to high school there. Yes.
Affectionately known by people who live there like me as Holly Weird, but but it's spawned some really talented people. And so
Yes.
Norman got into apparently he worked at an ice cream shop
He
starting
did.
off, and
He did as a child, and he always felt that he cooked with his grandma and his mom, and he felt that he always had a love for art. So as he went through his career as a famous pastry chef, he was at Ritz-Carlton
oh nice
for a big chunk of time, opened up a lot of international hotels for them, was their head executive chef of of pastry. And one thing that was really cool was that he decided he wanted to, get back into a little bit of regular hours, as they say in the business. As you know, it's a grind. And he decided to start a production company before those big fancy shows where you do those cooking shows.
Mhm.
The Coupe de Monde, where he was the captain, by the way, of that for America. They came in bronze. And he was the captain of that team, and said, "I want to start something here." So he started his own competition, sold a bunch of them to the network, and then thought, "I need to start making something." I was so afraid he didn't have a paycheck. When you're built that way, right? How am I going to pay my bills just in case? He started making these for his friends and family in the industry. A lot of those chefs in Naples and other areas, because Ritz was in Naples. That's where he was living at the time.
That's my favorite
That's-
Ritz too.
is
The
it
one
really?
on the one on the beach.
Yes,
there,
they
right?
just had to redo it.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. So he started making this, and somehow, some way, he was making it in a little carpeted office. USA Today got a hold of it.
Really?
Someone leaked it
From
somehow.
Oh,
Naples,
wow.
Ritz, okay.
He was
That's
making a
impressive.
little. He had his own little pot and a microwave, and he was making it in a carpeted little office. And next thing I know, he's making this. He can't make enough.
Wow.
And this was what year when it all kind of started?
It was in 2001.
Oh,
okay.
wow.
Yeah.
So we're going back a
2001.
quarter century.
We
Almost.
are. We're having our 25th anniversary next year.
Oh wow!
mazel tov.
Yes,
Congratulations
yes.
on that. And again, so it started on the West Coast, Naples, Fort Myers
Mhm.
area,
Correct.
and so, but now there are how many stores?
This is our eighth.
Okay.
Our eighth. We do have a big internet business. We are, we have our own website.
What's the website?
NormanLoveConfections.com.
NormanLoveConfections.com.
Yes, and we've been able to enjoy a beautiful business around the country. It's been very wonderful. People are
That's
very
good.
good to us.
And so the two that opened in South Florida, let's go over it. It was Delray Beach first,
Yes.
and now Boca.
That is correct. So we have one in Delray since like last fall, September time, and then this one just recently. So we have two right now
so
here.
both within a year. I guess
Yes.
somebody's a masochist. It's like, oh, not one opening. Let's do two.
In my
But-
first 18 months.
Yes.
And we
nice.
reopened Sarasota. So they're looking to see if I can hang.
So for those of us in the audience that are, in South Florida, the Delray Beach location is on the east side, right? That's on Federal Highway.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. Correct. Well, this is more west. I mean,
And
Yeah.
this
West
one
Boca
is
is
on
very
St.
different area.
Andrews Boulevard, a little bit west, but it's kind of in between Palmetto Park Road and Glades, right tucked behind the town center mall.
Mhm, right next to First Watch.
And it is new. It opened in mid-May or early May, right?
Yeah, between Mother's Day and Memorial Day. Yep.
So we're a little over 6 or 7 weeks into this project. How's it been going here?
It's been wonderful.
Yeah.
It's been wonderful. People have, if they don't know the brand, they're taking us on very quickly. Community is very important to us, so we want to make sure we get ingrained pretty quickly.
Now, I don't know if anybody told you, Lisa, but Boca can tend to be maybe a little bit of a tough market, a little bit of demanding
Maybe,
clientele.
maybe.
I'm not saying anything. We love them.
Okay. I'm the old food critic, and I could always say, well, if I wanted a challenge in life, it would be to come open a hospitality-based business in Boca Raton.
Raton,
But the
yeah.
ones that nail it really
Yes.
get embraced and beloved, and I hope that you're on your way.
That's
Yeah.
the thing that I will say about not only South Florida, but I mean anywhere, obviously. But Boca doing this with Mr. Mayo, and I'm born and raised in South Florida, so I know I know what Boca is, but I didn't understand what it could be from a restaurant standpoint. But what I have learned is the places that get ingratiated, like you're talking about in the community,
Yes.
are held in a different standard,
Mhm.
and they're sort of protected and defended as much as they are judged and critiqued.
Sure. Yeah. Well, I know it's foodies, right? And Norman's has a big attention to detail. So we love that. Norman thought it would be a perfect match, to be honest. And you were saying community. We get really involved quickly with charity in the community because we want to be authentic. It's very important to us.
Nice. So again, This is on the corner. It's in a shopping plaza that is right next to First Watch. I guess
Yep.
it used to be a smoothie place,
It was,
right?
yeah,
For
it
those
was
who are familiar with the Boca area and this
right on that
shopping
corner.
complex.
Yep.
You are in the midst of putting in some permanent signage that'll make it a little more pronounced, and people will be able to find it easier. But all you got to do, I was going to say you can just follow your nose, but you can't because you can't smell chocolate. But this you could feast with your eyes. Just talk a little bit about the process of how you go about creating and making each of these, and are these I guess just made fresh and delivered daily, weekly? How does that all work?
Yeah, absolutely. So we not only have pastry chefs that do a lot of the beautiful desserts you
Oh,
see.
you
We have,
actually do have.
we have a
pastry
full
chefs as
bakery
well.
department. We have a full pastry chef department. We have chocolatiers. So
That's
we
amazing.
produce everything on site in Fort Myers. We're self-contained. We derive our own products over fresh as we make them,
Jeez.
and we control it from the beginning to the end.
So
Nice.
let me ask you, because I heard you talking before the show. Does that, because you've grown? I mean, it's been
Mhm.
25 years, so you've done it smart and steady, is what we like to call it. Does that limit how far the diaspora? Because it seems like you guys want it to be quality. Want it to be.
Diaspora. Did they teach that
Yes.
at FSU?
I
That's
have
a
a
big
master's.
fancy SAT
Does
word
that-
there.
How I know there are people, and we use the word chain, and
Mhm.
sometimes it's a 4-letter word, sometimes it's appreciated for consistency.
Well-
It feels like you guys are trying to cover both bases. Now, does that limit how far you may want to go if you're hand delivering things week to week like that? I appreciate that you're doing that, but I'm also curious how you could do that on a mass scale.
Yeah, so you have to think of it this way. This to me on this side here is something that's Florida based to me. It will
Okay.
stay close to home.
pastries, okay.
We won't grow too fast.
Okay.
Different scale.
Okay.
This is much more scalable, and where we can get that to anybody
Well,
in the United States overnight.
Yep.
Via
We
internet,
ship it.
and then I
Correct.
guess the only question is in the heat and the heat wave that's
Mhm.
afflicting much of
Oof.
the country. How do you prevent these beauties from melting? And I guess are they delivered on dry ice, or how does that? all work?
We use gel packs, but
Gel
yes,
packs.
it's still it's we still control the environment. We
Nice.
spend a lot of time and our money on the packaging. It's very important to us that it gets to someone. These are important. This is
Yeah.
someone's gift
Yep.
to somebody.
Yeah,
So we take that very seriously.
nothing
Make sure
says
it
I
gets
love
there.
you like a
Especially
box
beautiful
of
chocolates like that.
beautiful high-end chocolates. And Lubie, I've got to correct you, Mr. Diaspora.
Yeah.
Technically, not a chain, because the federal definition of a chain is a restaurant that has more than 20 units.
Okay.
And seeing that this is a
regional
7, I call it a
established
regional
chain.
chain, like
Mhm.
and I don't know, what you've been in the hospitality and
I
food
have been
business
a
for a
long
long
time.
time. So
Yes.
you know those definitions. And is chain a dirty word? Or, I mean, this is just something that it means it's getting so popular and it has such good word of mouth that
Yeah,
you want to bring it to more people.
exactly. We call them chocolate salons. So to me,
I
it's
love
I don't
that.
even go down the chain
I love
route. I
that
really
word.
don't. I just feel
Yeah.
that we just want to bring our product to other people, and I don't consider it chain.
Right. And it's just high quality stuff. Would you be offended if I just took one of these and popped it
So
in
do
my
people
mouth right
eat
now?
this?
Please do.
I was asking Mike. I'm
Please
like, I'm
do.
scared.
Like,
to
I'm scared
eat
to
it. It looks like
touch
I'm
it.
at a museum with
If-
my
like,
wife, and I'm like, ooh.
If you don't eat it, then I don't have a business.
All right. And I've got my little cheat sheet
I
here
gave you
that
a
shows
map,
what
yes.
each one is. And you've got you want to kind of give a rundown of some of the different
Yeah, so
varieties that
we
you
do-
find in the the
Yeah, so we
chocolates?
have a core 25. It's a signature collection. We do shake it up. There's a new one coming out in fall. I can't wait for you guys to see it.
Oh.
We also supplement with holiday collections. So we'll always have a Christmas collection, a
Nice.
Valentine's Day. So there's always a rotation of flavor.
Okay.
But this is our signature I brought for you. So there's one of all 25 flavors
Oh,
here.
wow.
Oh my
And
God.
there is a map. So when you do come, try different things. And it actually, we get a lot of great feedback that people love this. They go home and they're,
Well, I was
you know,
gonna say that's the whenever
fight
you
over
get
'em.
chocolate. Sometimes you turn it over and you do the math. Most of the time, you're just like, oh, what is this one? Oh, what is this one?
Right.
I'm like, oh, this is amazing. I don't have to do the math. I can know what I'm eating.
And this is not your grandmother's Whitman sampler. This is some high-end
No, it's
stuff. And I wanted to
amazing.
talk about just how tastes have changed
Sure.
and reputation of American chocolate. A lot of people think, oh, Hershey's and
Swear.
whatever,
Yep.
and it's inferior to some of these European products
Sure.
and some of these high-end chocolatiers that are, Swiss
Mhm.
or Italian. But this looks every bit as good, and I'm going to go into the bourbon one because
Go for it.
for some reason bourbon always attracts me.
I wonder why.
And
Yeah. Well, I'll start it with a little bit of talking about the color. I would tell
I
you
see
that
that. Nice.
Norman was a pioneer in putting cocoa butter on chocolate. He did not invent the medium. We never take any credit for that. but he put art with chocolate, and he did realize that it is American, and that's okay. I mean, there are people that want to taste what they enjoy. We think we elevate the experience, and we use a finer quality, maybe of some other chocolates that are out there, but the flavors are supposed to be approachable. You will never really find one that is too far off, something that doesn't evoke a memory or an emotion for you.
I see that you've got a New York cheesecake.
We
And
do.
funny, in Boca, I don't know any New Yorkers in
That's my
Boca,
favorite.
but a
Peanut
New
butter and
York
jelly.
cheesecake. And you have
Eat just
passion panna
Just eat
cotta,
half?
cafe latte, a tiramisu flavor, vanilla, roasted almond truffle, peanut butter and jelly, PB
That's
and
what I'm
J.
eating now, which is it really is peanut butter and jelly.
Is a hazelnut praline truffle or praline. How do you say it, Lisa?
Whatever the way you like to say it.
Okay, you say
I say
I
praline.
say
You say
praline.
I'm
praline.
from South Florida.
praline. I
I'm
make
not from Georgia.
like to think that I'm Blanche Dubois in
Exactly.
New Orleans. Praline.
Please finish it. That was just so you saw the layers.
Oh, I did. I had to. It was great. Couldn't help myself.
And again, these are available like a la carte per piece
Yes.
here in the shop, and
Yes.
then also boxes that you can order online.
Yeah,
right?
we consider our packaging gift ready. We do have a signature color, and we do have bands that so you can come here and they'll be ready for you to take right out and take it for any occasion. So we're a gifting company as well as have a self-indulgence.
Yeah, and makes for a great holiday gift. I know it's a little bit earlier in the year for holidays, but I imagine also for anniversaries, birthdays, or anybody in your life who loves chocolate. And I don't know anybody who does not like chocolate. So,
Well, but what I appreciate, and a lot of the times you can either have one or the other, right? It's really pretty. You're like, oh, it tasted okay. Or it tastes really good, but it was sort of put together. I like that these are this. I don't even know another word. Beautiful. They literally are beautiful to look at. And then you eat, you're like, oh my God, that's as good, if not better,
Well,
than it looks.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
and this heart-shaped one is his hot dark chocolate.
It is.
I'll
So
leave
it's
that to you.
spicy.
And
You're the
oh,
one.
it is. It has a little bit of like
Oh, it has
that
a kick.
Mexican.
It does. The Mexican hot chocolate kind of taste, but the kick is at the end. We're working on another version of that where it's up front on the palate, but this one,
Okay.
that heat comes at the end. So be careful.
and it looks nice and again, beautiful shell. And that Mexican. What's the spice that they use in that to kick up the flavor?
This
It's
one
a-
happens to be jalapeno. I mean,
Jalapeno,
we stay in the
okay.
chili family. We've played with habanero. We've played with a bunch of different. This one happens to be a jalapeno.
All right. Well, it breaks my heart to break this
Aw.
heart.
Does it break your heart? I mean,
No,
you're
not
geeked.
really, but I
Yeah,
did
chocolate
break
and
this
spice
heart.
at the same time.
right.
Yeah,
And
it
boom.
sneaks up on you.
So yeah, I'm the first bite.
Mhm.
You get that nice sweet first bite from the shell and the exterior, but like you said, that's a creeper.
It's a creeper.
On the back end it
Yeah.
comes, and I love that. I'm a big spice guy, so this hot dark chocolate is melting my heart right now,
Oh, I
Lisa.
like it.
There you go.
Did you get some tiramisu?
No, what's interesting is every flavor tastes exactly like what it says it is.
I sure hope so.
Well, that's not, but that's not always the case. And a lot of the times, the flavors almost blend together. I like the differentiate. Like every flavor tastes totally different.
Good. I'm glad. To
So,
hear that.
like, because a lot of time you want to get different ones, and then you're like, oh, are they the same? And I like that every single one tastes totally different.
Yeah, and I like the fact that he blended the chocolate and a ganache, so it's a blended
Yes.
experience. Sometimes I find that you can just chocolate or just ganache is
Yep.
like whoa. I love that it's blended.
Yeah, I love everything about what I've
Sir.
tasted so
Oh,
far, and
thank
I've
you.
only tasted two. Let's take our first break, and then we're going to come back and we'll get into some more of the pastries and the baked goods, which are available here at the new Norman Love Confections, Boca Raton, 21200 St. Andrews Boulevard. There's also one in Delray Beach.
Yep.
And we'll see and check with Lisa if there's more on the
Yeah,
way
I'm about
in
to ask. I live
South
in Cold
Florida.
Springs, so if you want to
Um,
come more out west, we'd love to
But
have
we'll
you.
get into the future and also some upcoming promotions. You mentioned, is there like Christmas in July?
Yes.
Oh,
And
nice.
We'll get into all these things after these words on the lunchbox.
Southern comfort food from a scratch kitchen, delicious drinks and house-made spirits from a craft bar, a great vibe inside and out with a spacious patio. I'm talking about Batch New Southern Kitchen and Tap, Fort Lauderdale, in the heart of the city at 525 North Federal Highway. It's open 7 days for lunch, dinner, and weekend brunch with classics like fried chicken and waffles and shrimp and grits, and creative items like pecan-crusted salmon and a fried green tomato BLT. And the drinks? Smooth sipping and so good. There's convenient free parking and a garage next door, happy hour at the bar, an entire patio, 4 to 7 Monday to Friday, and live music every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. It's pet and people friendly and with cozy fire pits for when the temperature dips. For reservations and more information, go to batchsouthernkitchen.com. If you like seafood in a comfortable setting, outdoors, even keel fish shack at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea, upscale food in a down-home setting, the chef owners, Dave and Brad, do a terrific job with all the seafood classics that you want. They have the best grilled oysters in town, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, and deli fish specials. They also have weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday. They have deli happy hour 4 to 7, and they also have other weekly specials like mussels on Monday and oysters on Tuesday. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack and tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. For casual yet sophisticated contemporary American cuisine, Burton's Grill and Bar. Now with 2 South Florida locations, 1003 South University Drive in Plantation and 5580 North Military Trail in Boca. I've become a huge fan of this place. Great food and hospitality, family friendly, a full gluten-free menu, and a staff that's very mindful of guest allergies and special dietary needs. They're open 7 days with an all-day menu, weekend brunch, and happy hour specials. And oh, don't miss that short rib grilled cheese or their famed key lime pie. So good. They offer catering and delivery, and download the Burton's app for extra specials and bonuses, including $15 to sign up. Go to burtonsgrill.com for more information. When people come to me and say, Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial, serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, oh, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Looking for inspired comfort food in a cozy setting? Blue Collar in Miami is the place to go. Located at 6789 Biscayne Boulevard, it moved to bigger digs a year ago, now has full liquor, and still features all your old favorites from chef owner Danny Surfer. Fantastic burgers, the braise of the day, and the city's best key lime pie. And the summer specials are sizzling with BOGO lunch sandwiches every weekday from noon to 5 p.m. in June and July, Miami Spice menu in August, September, and drink specials every day. Open daily with weekend brunch. For reservations and information, go to bluecollarmiami.com. Feel like getting away without leaving town? Then you got to check out the House on the River in Fort Lauderdale. It's a beautiful restored historic home with indoor and outdoor dining right on the new river. You'll think you're in Charleston or Savannah. It has a gorgeous patio, porches, and private dining areas, and it offers unique experiences perfect for a date night or fun times with friends and family. It has weekend brunches, happy hour, dinner Wednesday through Sunday. There's also a high tea on Friday and Saturdays, and the popular House of Veuve Champagne experience on weekends. The House on the River is in Fort Lauderdale's Himmershey district, just south of the Science Museum. For reservations and information, go to thehouseontheriver.com. All right, we're back on a Thursday. The Lunchbox, we are going Sweets Edition here at Norman Love Confections. It's a new shop in not West Boca. It's kind of central Boca, St. Andrews Boulevard. And we're with the CEO of Norman Love Confections, Lisa Fisher. Thank you for making the drive over from, I guess, where the corporate headquarters are.
Correct.
And before we get into more of the fine products here, the pastries, and we call these beautiful domes, which you talk about, the chocolates look very pretty to eat. These really look too pretty to eat, but nevertheless, we will have to dig in. But Lisa, I want to get a little bit about your background. You said you just joined Norman Love about, less than 2 years ago?
Yeah, it's been 18 months, a fast 18 months, I'll tell you.
And what's your background and what attracted you to this brand?
Yeah. I've been in food my whole career. My goodness, I'm showing my age, 34 years.
Oh,
I've
wow.
been in the food business, mostly on the selling on the company side, not on the operator side. I've worked for brands like Chobani yogurt,
Okay.
you know, Heinz ketchup, all those brands that you
Big
know
brand
they you know
staples.
care about. You
Lubie's
know,
a big fan of Heinz ketchup. He
Oh,
puts it on
I
everything,
am.
me too. I'm
including
from Pittsburgh. You
things
know?
that
I was
I
gonna say,
cringe
there
when
you
he
go.
puts it on. He put it on a roast
Yeah.
beef sandwich yesterday. All right, but you work
Yes,
for Heinz.
I work for Heinz, and you know I'm a big Steeler fan,
Yeah,
and Heinz
Pittsburgh
filled, so it
gal,
was a
yeah.
good thing. It was a good thing.
Excellent.
But
Right.
yeah, I've done a lot of brands. I left brands and went into manufacturing, co-manufacturing, where you make food for other people,
Mhm.
and really gave me my operations chops. And then I decided I was going to retire. Can you believe it? I was
I
like,
believe it. I tried to
it's
do
too
that.
beautiful. It's too beautiful here. I was having more fun that I wanted to, didn't want to work as hard. And I took 4 months off, and Norman found me, and I fell in love with this brand. You know, brands are important to me, but it's not about the big company. It's about the product
Yeah.
and the quality. And I just thought it had a reason to win. You know, you go into a company wanting to win.
Now, and going back to, I read your CV, and you went to Slippery Rock College, University.
I did.
And there's only one other person I know that attended or graduated from Slippery Rock, and I believe I think I have this right. Fudge Brown, who
I love
sometimes
Fudge.
watches this
I'm a big
show,
fan of Fudge.
former PR, great
With the
executive with the
worked
Dolphins.
Marino for years.
Now she does a lot of other things,
Yep.
woman of all trades.
Yep,
but
yep.
Fudge, I think, was a Slippery Rock alum. Why is it named Slippery Rock? Is there a big Slippery Rock in the middle of campus?
There is a
There is.
a creek, as we say, creek, and there is a slimy pebble, and there is it is known for just beautiful terrain there north of Pittsburgh.
Nice. And you went there. You got a degree in like a public relations,
I
or it was
did.
communications.
Communications, you know, it's always this broad
Which
degree,
is why
you know?
you're a natural on
Oh,
the headset and the
appreciate it.
lunchbox
Yep.
here.
I actually started in radio. Yeah,
Oh.
KDK Radio,
Oh, wow.
the first radio station in America.
Oh yeah, and
Yeah,
so
I
did Lubie is an AM
did
radio
radio for
veteran.
years.
Nice.
Now
back
AM
when-
radio.
Back
Yeah.
when AM radio was a thing.
Was a thing.
I
Yes.
worked in newspapers when
When that was a
newspapers were a thing, and now here we are, just
Here we are.
streaming,
Here.
live stream, and that's why I love this whole new era of, we get to, spotlight
Mhm.
growing new things, local new places of interest, and obviously you guys are making your mark because you're on the cover of Boca
Yeah, that's
magazine
amazing.
this month. You want to hold that one up there,
We
Lubie,
are
so
their
you can
best
see
of.
the
Yeah.
best of Boca issue,
Mhm.
and they decided to use a box of Norman Love
That's great.
Confections.
They did,
I
and
love
we hand painted. You know, cocoa butter's a fat. It's hard to get a precise letter. It wasn't easy. It was not easy. But our chocolatier freehanded. You know.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, so I didn't realize they didn't like Photoshop.
Oh no no no.
The,
We made
the
those.
letters
Yeah.
on. You actually made
We
a
freehanded
box
them.
of custom made
Mhm.
best of Boca chocolates. So
We did.
that is impressive in its own right. But again, people are finding their way in here. What's the response you've been getting?
It's been amazing. I think some people have heard of the brand, maybe from Naples. We have a store in Naples as well, you know, and I think that they admire quality here. We
Mm.
just got to make sure they can find us. We're working on that. We're working on it.
Nice. And again, a lot of people, there have been some other places that have like ice cream shops that double with chocolates and stuff, but this is a whole other level. I mean, it just looks beautiful and it tastes
yeah.
great.
Norman was inspired, you know, when you go to Italy and they would have these shops that had a little bit of everything in it. And this, you know, you could tell a lot of our decor when you come in, we buy it straight from Italy. It's very important that it's authentic and it looks in the feel that he's trying to bring.
So let's move on to the platter number 2 here, the trays. We've got, you want to take us through what we have?
Yeah, I just trying to do a little bit of a variety so people know that they can come different day parts, you know, whether it's, for a special occasion or you just want some breakfast or, it's brunch. So we do a lot of the laminated doughs, the croissants, and, we have a full pastry program, whether it's savory or sweet.
Oh, nice.
We make our own scones. We have bakers that bake all night long and make scones and cookies from scratch. And then I brought 2 of the desserts that, I think are just spectacular. They're all amazing. Don't get me wrong, but I fill these little individual sizes. You can try multiple flavors in one sitting.
Yeah.
This one has to be chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
And then we also have the raspberry dome that has chocolate mousse inside. Raspberry and chocolate go very well together.
And it's got a little bit on the top. It's got little shaped
It does.
chocolate.
So we make all those. We have our pastry chefs also have specialties in chocolate. They have their own. They make their own decor on site. That's all made by
nice.
hand.
All right. Well, I hate to ruin somebody else's.
I'm gonna let you do it live on camera.
handiwork.
I'm not
And
touching it.
because I am in restrained mode today. I'm not going to eat it with my hands. But like,
Okay.
how do people eat these? Is this something with a knife and fork? You kind of just break the shell, or How does one go about eating one of these beautiful
I just
domes?
don't think there's a right or a wrong. I just want you
it
to
is.
enjoy it.
It's
There's
soft.
mousse.
For some reason, I thought it was like
It's
a
the
hard
gloss.
shell that you have to like crack, but this is just
it's soft.
It's the
a
gloss.
soft
Yeah.
gloss mousse. Oh, and look
It
at that!
is.
It's got a nice
It's like
chocolate mousse.
typical
that's nice.
entremet style, layers, intricate layers, hand done.
Mm.
Mhm.
Oh, you never.
Yeah, you're trying to talk, and then he's like, "Oh, wow, that's amazing."
I love when I take a bite of something, Lisa, and it sends shivers down my
that makes
spine.
that makes my day.
Because it is like so good, decadent, but
Light, even.
light.
Mhm.
Light and fluffy with that mousse. And then, I guess you could kind of play around and break off a little bit of
Sure.
the shell on the outside. Nice white chocolate.
And we have full cakes. I mean, so it
Nice.
feeds more than one person for special occasions or special dinners.
And you have what also you call the petite gâteaux,
Yeah.
which is up in the case. And we might have to bring one of those out for the
Sure.
third segment. But because you're doing like a key lime pie.
We are. We alternate these, and we do specialty ones for holidays too. So don't always assume it's the same thing. We try to
Nice.
keep it innovative, change the palette a little bit. And we try to bring a couple different ones in each time.
Nice. So what is the future hold in terms of you're at number 8?
Mm-hmm.
Will there be number 9, 10 soon? What are you guys exploring? What can you say as far as other cities around South Florida or the whole Florida region? Or, there's a limit to
There's
how
a
far
limit to how far we can drive, right? And it has to be something that's doable that we can bring fresh product. So
Okay.
we do have aspirations to grow, but Norman and I both say we don't want to grow too fast. Very important to us. We will grow smart. We'll grow where it's sustainable and the quality can meet the need. We have a couple cities picked out. I think he mentioned at the grand opening, he'd like to go a little bit more south than here. That would be something nice that he'd like to explore. A little bit up each coast. But I don't see it getting past 20, guys. And it's funny you brought up the 20. I just
Right.
don't see it. I think that we'll scale more on the chocolate on the online business
Nice.
outside of the 20.
Right, because obviously there is is there a growing appetite for these, like I would call them, high end or artisanal chocolates where it's an indulgence, but it's affordable
It
and
is.
it's, it makes for great gifts, but it also makes for, I think everybody should reward themselves a little bit every day.
Yeah,
I call it a taste of luxury because you think about the risk barrier to when you spend your dollar and it doesn't stretch as far as it used to these days. And a lot of people are scared of that. It's a way to indulge a little bit, but not go all the way to buy a Gucci purse.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
you know what I
Right.
mean? Like I think of it's a taste of luxury. It's a little bit of a spoil. And we love the way people feel about it when they look at it.
And Lubie, what's your instant review of the scone? Is this a blueberry? Scone?
I guess there's raisin.
Yeah, it looks like it might be.
It's really nice. There's a nice flavor. It's light. It's not too much. Like it's definitely would go with the chocolate. So I'm trying to figure out how you figure out what you do when you come in here because everything so far has been fantastic.
Well, you get a coffee drink. You got the
You
coffee
do.
beverages
And
here, and I guess that's both. You can have it in house because you have a couple of tables here.
Yeah, we have it. We're going to put some outside as well.
Nice.
So we encourage people to come spend some time with us. But we also have it to go a full coffee program too as well.
And tell me about the coffee program. Is the beans, are they from a local, or local? I mean, how are they roasted, and I guess the origins of it, and how seriously?
I would say it's not as serious as our other programs. It is a Florida vendor. He does do a
nice.
blend just for us.
Nice.
We have a couple different ones. We can sell the beans itself, but to be honest with you, the focus is the chocolate.
Right.
With the pastry program.
And these chocolates pair perfectly
Yeah.
with a cup of coffee.
This is just so when you're here, you want a cup of coffee.
No, but
we
it's
have
perfect.
it.
The
Yeah.
coffee's really nice, and then it
Thank you.
goes well, especially with the pastries, with
Yeah.
some of the sweets.
And pardon my reach, but I'm gonna go.
Go
Is this
for it.
like a snickerdoodle?
looks like a snickerdoodle.
It does look like one.
All right, I'm going in. I'm just gonna
Yeah.
kind of take that. It's nice.
Yep.
It's fluffy. It's one of those softer cookies.
Yeah.
but the
Yeah, they
flavor
go
is nice.
softer. Yeah.
And I mean, the whole concept of this. Are there other stores that are just like strictly for people taking, buying boxes and gifts, or is this
However
common
it's
at the other locations where you can come in and get your pastries and have a cup of coffee?
Yeah,
in
we
the
have a
morning?
little bit of each one has a similar profile that you can get coffee, you can get some pastries. Some of them have a full scooping gelato program, some have
interesting.
pints. It's a little different. I want each one to have their own identity,
Nice.
but I want to have a common theme, which is really important to building a brand.
Mhm.
So there's some commonalities, so you know what you're getting, but I want each one to have their own following and their own identity.
And these like green boxes, that's part of the identity.
That is
Has
correct.
that been a long running thing, or
It has been. I would tell you. I think he probably fine tuned the color along the way. He, think about. I hate to say the Tiffany blue. I like Tiffany, but it's kind of like our version of Tiffany blue. I mean, like it's recognizable. Yep. We give beautiful gift bags when you buy, and it's funny. It becomes one of those things where it's a collectible, and if we don't have our bags, be careful. It gets ugly. It gets ugly.
So, I mentioned before we went on the air that I flirt with the sugar, the blood sugar levels,
Yep.
and I'm trying to be mindful. But you have options, I guess, for those who are watching their sugar intake, low sugar
Lower
options.
sugar items.
We do. We have some lower sugar items. I mean, it's not the core by any means, but
Right.
we feel that we have to have something for everybody. So we have some things that we put on our novelty wall, we call it, and whether they're a protein popper or even just a bar or a bark, we try to make sure there's something for somebody.
Nice. And you got a nice book that I'm
beautiful.
displaying here, Artistry in Chocolate,
Yeah.
A Story of Love.
Nice.
And you sell these here. Is it just kind of his history,
It's his
backstory?
story, and
Yeah.
it's a table book, so it's got beautiful pictures. Some of the
right.
original work he did, along with a little bit of his background, but a lot
Shows
about
that,
pictures.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's beautiful, and it really helps everybody kind of see. A lot of people follow him; they've known him for a long time. A lot of the chocolatiers that are out there that are regional admire his work, so he put a book out.
Yeah, how could you not admire
can
this?
see
Now,
why.
Yeah.
we eat with our eyes, and as soon as people make their way in here and they see that case, I see jaws dropping.
Mhm.
People that have walked in the store since we've been here. But as far as getting people to come in the store, you're going to try to, I guess, again, let people know what's in here, and I
Yes.
guess that's all part of the work in progress aspect of a new store, right?
It is, yes, and we work with a wonderful PR firm here to make sure that we are at events. The Buzz Agency's been so good to us. We want to make sure that we're present. Because being on the other coast, we make sure we have a personality here.
Yeah.
We come over a lot as an executive team.
Nice.
And we've been doing some press and also, trying to make sure that we're there for events and supporting charity.
Nice. Any shot of can you get some of these chocolates into some of the higher end restaurants and serve them as
Have you ever
petit
done stuff
fours,
like
or
that?
I don't know how that
Yeah,
works.
We actually have some of that business. Norman started with a hospitality pack because he's a chef, and that's where he was making them. Remember in that carpet
Yep,
thing I told you
metal room,
about?
yep.
It was for other chefs. So we actually have a chef program that is in a wholesale box that they can pull out trays. Because Norman always said when he was getting that call from the maitre d', said someone's upset, and I got to hurry up and make something to give them a dessert. You're always going through a box. So he thought of everything about that box and how it functions for a chef. So we do have a program. And we have some great properties even on this side that do buy our product.
Nice.
Mhm.
Very good. And upcoming events. So you mentioned there's going to be something Christmas in July, and I guess you run some specials.
Yeah, we run some specials. We also, whether it's online or in store, we try to be relevant. There's National S'more Day coming up. There's
Nice.
World Chocolate Day on July 7th. So we try to acknowledge some of these Hallmark holidays
yeah,
to give people a reason to come in and hang out with us and try it. But online, we always have things going all the time.
Yeah. And again, that's
nice.
normanloveconfections.com. Did I get that right?
You got it
Nailed it,
right.
my friend.
And it's very easy to spell because it's Norman and then love, like the hearts that I'm going to eat another one somewhere. And again, it doesn't call it chocolatier because there's so many different treats. So that's why I love the word confections.
Yeah.
He loves the word diaspora, but I like the word confection.
I like both words. I lean more confections, actually.
I do too, as you can see.
Yeah.
But well, Lisa, let's take our second break, and then I might go raid your gelato fridge over there,
God.
pull out one of those, and just want to kind of, I gotta just make sure it's Lunchbox approved.
I'm
It looks
sure.
pretty good.
You better taste it.
And maybe
Yeah.
we'll get one of those key lime petit gâteau. And I love saying petit gâteau. I love the French touch, even though you're an American company from Norman Love, an American born and raised
They have the
chocolatier.
fancy, nice macaroons. So there you
Yeah,
go.
they do.
I've never been a macaron fan.
The macaroons you get on Passover is not my favorite thing, but
Right.
when
'Cause
you go
it's
to
coconut.
France and you get those
Oh,
macaroons,
those macarons are good.
yeah, because when we were in Paris, and my my wife was like, "Oh, macaroons." I'm like, "These aren't macaroons. The coconut things that you get in the middle of Passover when you want something sweet, but that's not good enough.
That's
a
shredded
macaroon."
coconut.
Macaroon
That's
and macaron.
macaron.
exactly.
Right.
Yes.
You say praline,
Yes.
praline. No,
Yes.
macaron
So
is
when
the
I had
classic.
those, I'm like, "Oh, these are good." I'm like, now I know why people like these.
Well, we have both, so
Well,
we'll
we
let you
might
try
have to
both.
get one of those too to sample because we are on the lunchbox. When we come out to a place, we like to
Honest.
cover the large
Yes.
variety of offerings,
Sincerity.
and it is not just a place for a box of chocolates.
No.
It is a place for anything that will satisfy the confections lover in your life. Let's take the second break, and then we'll come back, and I'll continue eating because that's what we do on the lunchbox. Again, we're at Norman Love Confections, the new Boca Raton location, 21200 St. Andrews Boulevard, right next to the First Watch, kind of near the town
That
center
actually is
mall.
perfect because they lean healthier and breakfast and whatever, and then you come here. Like that's the move to me. My wife would make me go there. I would go knowing that we could end up here after because she's not going to fight me if I walked her in here.
Well, I think there's also either like health salons or gyms, and that's the thing. You burn your calories,
then
and
you
then
go
you
and
come
treat
here and you
yourself.
get your reward.
You can eat a small piece.
And they're small.
They're
Yeah.
small.
And again, well, let's take the second break, and then we'll gather our thoughts. I'm starting to get a sugar buzz going, so that's me a little bit crazy. But we'll be back with more on the Lunchbox after these words.
Hey Lunchbox fans, is it time to sell your business? You've poured your heart and soul into your restaurant or business, and you want to see continue the legacy you have built. Transworld can help. Call me, Andy Cagnetta, at Transworld Business Advisors right now and see if it's time for you to retire and relax. Iconic brands like the Mai Kai, Mulligans, Carlos and Pepe's, Mangoes, and many more turn to Transworld to help sell. Contact Transworld on Facebook or call 954-772-1122 or visit tworld.com. Again, that's 954-772-1122 or tworld.com.
When I'm looking for some wicked good food for a wicked good lunch, there's only one place to go. That's Wicked Cheesesteaks in Fort Lauderdale. It's at 4824 North Federal Highway, just south of Commercial Boulevard and across from Holy Cross Hospital. My friend Brian there, he will hook you up with some really tasty treats. They've got cheesesteaks just like the best you can find in Philly, along with lobster rolls, because that's where he's from, Maine originally. And they have wings and pizza and everything you want to have a really good time. Wicked Cheesesteaks. They're open every day but Tuesday. Check them out online, wickedcheesesteaks.com. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Guess who's back and better than ever? Juan's. For the best in classic old school Chinese cuisine, a family-run South Florida favorite since 1966. It's at 664 North Federal Highway in Fort Lauderdale, open every day but Tuesday for lunch and dinner. Chef Alex is carrying on the family tradition that started 4 generations ago. It used to be known as Christina Juan's Mandarin House, and you're going to love it as Juan's. They've got all your favorites: wonton soup, spare ribs, egg rolls, dumplings, Peking duck, and more. Combo lunch specials daily and takeout and delivery. For more information, go to their Instagram page at wans.fl. If you're looking for a great place for steaks, seafood, and more, go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 and the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old school hospitality from the Studiali family, along with great value, for tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop that's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30 except Sunday. Go to Tropical Acres. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. For the finest and authentic Greek cuisine, Taverna Kima is the place to go. 6298 North Federal Highway in Boca Raton. It's been around for nearly 2 decades. Every day is a feast with grilled lamb and fish, house-made spinach pie and moussaka, gyros, traditional dips, mezes, with soft, warm pita. It's open 7 days for lunch and dinner with happy hour daily from 3 to 6 p.m., indoor, outdoor, private dining, and they are now featuring a monthly lamb roast brunch on the first Sunday of every month. So celebrate life at Taverna Kima. For reservations and information, go to tavernakima.com. When I get a craving for real Southern barbecue, Fat Boy's Barbecue is the place that I call home. Cooked low and slow with proper smoke and dry rub goodness, Fat Boys has some of the best ribs, brisket, burnt ends, pulled pork, and chicken around. 5 delectable sauces and the tastiest collard greens, candied yams, and cornbread this side of heaven. 4 locations, including Deerfield, Coral Springs, Cypress Creek Road, and their newest location in downtown Fort Lauderdale, 706 South Federal Highway. Open 7 days with great lunch specials, online ordering, delivery, catering, and food trucks for your next event. To order, go to fatboysbarbecue.com today. That's Fat Boys with a Z, as in amazing.
All right, we are back on a sweet treat edition of the Lunchbox from Norman Love Confections, new location, Boca Raton. There's also one that opened about 9 months ago in Delray Beach. Maybe coming at some point other cities in South Florida. I don't want to lobby for anything, but I think Fort Lauderdale needs something like this.
Yeah.
Oh God.
And of course, Miami is the big city, but you guys will figure that part out.
Yeah, I'll tell you the truth. Nothing's under development, nothing. So we'll just see how
You're
this
open.
one. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're open.
And I'm going to focus on the new things that have arrived on the table. And during the break, this is great because I was like, oh, yeah, I want to try one of those. And we've
putting
got
them to
the
work here.
gelato.
I'm just because he's talked about savory and sweet, and I'm like, okay.
Well, we've talked about
Well, let's
sweet.
push it
Now
to
it's
the
time for
test.
savory, right? You
They're
picked out
working
some-
on it.
Oh, okay. What did
They-
you pick out?
Well, they had some different croissant type breakfast items, and they also had quiche, and they have all these different things. So
Oh,
I
good.
was like, okay. When Lisa talked about people can come here for breakfast, I want people to realize you really can come here for breakfast. Like they're working on it right now. They'll actually heat it up for you, which is really cool. A lot of pastry bakeries will just have it sitting there and you have to eat
Right.
it the way it is, which I'm okay with. I've been to France, I've been to Italy. I don't mind it
Mm-hmm.
that way. But the fact that you guys will heat it up in America, we want our things hot. So
yeah,
that's
if
not
you
the
have
worst thing
something that
ever.
has a little like cheese and ham, you want that.
Yeah, totally
heat
get it.
Even a chocolate croissant. I actually stopped in this morning. Our friend Angela Elia, his bakery bar in Oakland Park. I was up there with Val this morning. We had we were just driving by, and I went in, had my coffee there. But he doesn't have chocolates like this. He's got some pretty good pastries there, our friend
Okay.
Angelo. But I'm
So what do
I'm
we have
intrigued
now?
by the key lime petite gâteau. It
Mm.
doesn't look too petite to me. It looks like if I had a whole one of those, I'd be maybe needing a nap.
Maybe after all the chocolate you've had.
Yeah. So what is it? So it's like a little bar.
Is it a cake or like what?
Yeah,
And this is all edible. It
it's
has
all
like a-
edible. So it's got the layers. It's got a little bit of a crust. It's got a nice soft filling. Beautiful chocolate. I just love the way they do the whole piece of chocolate on top of it.
And I don't know, like Lubie, we can get it for your. I don't know if we got the B-roll camera. You want to
Oh,
just
I
take a
could.
shot for the? Yeah, that's all right. But I'm gonna just take a bite. And again, the key lime pie petite gâteau.
He's a big key lime pie guy, so he definitely
Oh my
is.
God.
He doesn't usually react that way. I'm not gonna lie to you.
That's
He's
a
very.
good sign.
He's weirdly critical about
Oh,
like
is he?
I like key lime pie and I
Is that
think they're
good?
good. He's like very judgmental of key lime pie. He doesn't really react that way ever. So that's
Once
a
again,
good
the
reaction.
shivers of pleasure are running down.
Oh, you're
my
making my
spine.
day. Thank you.
And you know, I'm a big texture guy.
hmm
I love when something has both the creamy and the smooth along with the crunch. And this is like my dream dessert right now
I was gonna
because
say
it
it has a bit
has
of everything.
a really good balance between the, a little bit of the tart from the key lime along with the sweet. And that bottom layer is, it's like a cake type
It is.
thing, but it's got that, I love that texture. It's kind of like a key lime, when a key lime pie has that graham cracker crust.
Correct.
And I don't know if it's a graham
It
cracker.
is.
It is. It's fantastic.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. That we have wonderful chefs.
I'll take 12 of them. Thank you.
Okay.
Um,
Well, that
I'm going to hold you to it.
well, the word you use is a word I've learned doing the show. Balance is a big part
Mhm.
of when we go to restaurants, right? When you have different flavors,
Correct.
the really high level establishments, the point is to bring multiple flavors together. A lot of time when it comes to desserts, you taste the one flavor,
Yeah.
chocolate, vanilla. It's interesting. Every single thing, like even the cookies, like the oatmeal, and I'm not a big oatmeal cookie fan, but the oatmeal cookie, there was multiple flavors that sort of cascaded over one another. That looks, and I'll try. I'm sort of
this
scared
is
of it now.
obviously a culinary team
But
that
it's a
knows what they're
bunch.
doing.
I just
Like,
no, but it's interesting. Like you said it, and it looks like there's different levels of flavor that all sort of come together.
yeah,
And it's rare to see that in desserts. Like
Right.
I'd call that a harmonious bite. I loved it, and that
Good.
was something that I would not typically say. Key lime, like.
nah, it's good.
But
fine.
it's That's a winner.
Oh, that makes my
So
day. Thank
those
you.
are the types of things.
my
And
God.
then last but not least,
Well,
I am just my Achilles heel in life is ice cream. And here you have your gelatos. Tell me about the gelato line, and you guys also make that
We do. We
in
make
Fort
it in
Myers.
Fort Myers. We have a full-time gelato chef that is dedicated to making a full product. We do rotate flavors based on the season. We bring fruit flavors in. There's some water-based sorbets as well as dairy. You happen to go all in. We do it in small pints here. It's easier for us to transport. In all honesty, it's a little hard to bring, the trays.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And yeah, the display case, it looks like you make about like what, 8 or 9 different flavors.
We do. We try to rotate them. It's a big program.
And usually I'm a sucker for the chocolate or the stracciatella, some of the
Mhm.
classic things. But you've got, besides the sea salt caramel, Debbie Abrams from the Buzz Agency, she's here, and she aligned us with Norman Love and Lisa here, and she said you got to try the hazelnut. So I did reach for the hazelnut gelato. I'm going to take the big spoon here. We got a big spoon on. I'm not going to do a big bite today. I'm just going to kind of dig in there.
so while you're doing that and
Yep.
you're tasting that, I've taken my taste. So Lisa has proven she's not a liar. They not only have savory, you can not only have your breakfast, but I'm floored by how good this, because it's like the combination of like a quiche, croissant. I don't want to use the word thing. He used the word thing. I don't
It's
feel
a puffy,
But
it's a
it-
puffy
but-
pastry.
so a
type.
lot of the time the flavor with that can be, I don't want to say muted, but more subtle.
Mhm, sure.
I'm not saying it's not subtle bad. What I'm saying is like this is the croissant has the buttery flavor of a croissant, but you taste the egg, you taste the bacon, you taste the cheese, and a lot of time when it's an item like this, that isn't the case. Like which is fine. I don't mind if something is just you're eating it to move on. I had to stop myself because I was like, wow, it didn't look like how it tasted. It looks simple,
Mhm.
and it is,
Yeah.
but the flavors are very
Good.
strong,
I'm
and
glad.
they're very detailed, and I am enjoying this way more than I expected to enjoy this.
Well, you got to love a flaky puff pastry that's stuffed with
Yeah,
some
yeah.
savory goodness, and that's and
No,
there's a
but you should
cheese
try
in
it though.
there.
Like I'm telling you, they work.
Oh, you don't have to ask me twice.
No, but like usually, if it's a croissant thing, you just taste the croissant, or
Right.
if it's an egg bacon thing, you just taste the egg and the bacon. That you can taste the egg, the bacon, and the croissant all not only individually, but and I know I'm rambling, but I'm telling you, the way that entered my mouth, I was like, wow, I did not expect that from what I'm seeing. Like usually the flavors are not as strong when it's something that looks like that.
no, it's a puff pastry filled with good
No,
egg, cheese. It's good. I mean,
But it's not overwhelming, and it's not like too much. Again, a lot of the time, like I like a breakfast sandwich. My wife's not the biggest fan because it's too much sometimes for her, right? Like this, you get all the flavors of having a breakfast sandwich, but
Right.
it doesn't over.
also, on the
fill
lighter
you.
side. Yeah, it's good. It's a very nice way to start the day.
That's it. What do you think of the gelato?
So the gelato. Let me ask you this, because you're the food professional.
I can't stop. I'm gonna give you that.
He's eating the whole
Sorry, I
thing.
have to
Yeah, go for it, Lubie. What's the difference technically between gelato and ice cream, if any?
Yeah, there is a difference. One thing, gelato does mean ice cream in Italian, by the way.
Right.
I do have a minor in Italian, so
Nice.
it does.
Italiano.
Italiano, parlo Italiano.
Oh.
But yeah, I would tell you it's more about the cream. It's more about the fat versus,
content.
and it's more air. And it's funny because you think if it's heavy cream, it's going to be more calories. It's the way you make it
Yep.
that gives it the fluffiness.
Okay.
The technique
Texture.
that
and-
tends to make it a little bit more healthier if you
Right.
really look at it.
Yeah.
So gelato. The butterfat content. Do you know it, or is
I don't
that a
know.
state secret? Or
It's a secret. I can't
okay.
share it with you.
because I know some of the better ice cream. The better ice. I mean, you typically it's the higher the butterfat
Correct.
content, the richer the mouthfeel. That's
Mhm.
one of those foodie words.
It
mouthfeel.
is.
But this is very creamy. Debbie, you didn't stir me wrong. That hazelnut, a very nice flavor, because anybody who likes Nutella, that is a chocolate blended with hazelnut. So you kind of get, for
Yep.
those who like Nutella, it's got that great hazelnut flavor, but without all the chocolate part, because you can have your chocolates from the box and then you get the hazelnut on the side. Would that be okay if I do like a chocolate
Jesus, man.
a la mode and just kind of
Oh
put,
my
but
goodness gracious.
now I'm going
Is your
into
doctor,
full-
don't watch today. Mayo's doctor, don't watch today. Today's not the day to watch.
I just
You're
did something
combining
ridiculous.
chocolates and really rich, creamy,
It worked.
delicious gelato. Of course, it worked.
Those shivers are still running
It's
down
why
my
chocolate
spine.
peanut butter works. But again, it doesn't mean you are supposed to do it.
All right, you're right. I'm sorry.
I'm
Lubie,
sorry.
did you
actually,
take
too.
one of these
I'm
yet?
scared to go near it. You're like,
there's a
dunking
side that's
you're
not.
taking pastries, dunking it into it like it's ketchup.
It's getting a little crazy here on the
It
lunchbox.
is. I love it though.
That's
Yeah.
what happens when you unchain me around all this really good
I didn't
high
realize
end.
you were such a sweet tooth.
Well, this explains why
He's on Ozempic.
my A1C has gotten to levels that I call it an occupational hazard,
Yeah.
Lisa.
Take one
and
for the team.
somebody's got to do it.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
suffer from my art. So,
Well,
Yeah,
we
you know.
appreciate that for your art.
Well, that's amazing.
Absolutely.
hey, let's take our third and final break. I
Sir.
can't believe the hour is almost over.
Yep.
It really time flies when you're having fun, and
Sweet treats as well.
we are really having a blast here at Norman Love Confections. I suggest everybody come check it out because you deserve a break today.
Put it this way: our friend Don Jaffe, who's watching, and is a very tough critic.
Yeah.
Is like, I've already added it. I didn't even know this was a thing. So thank you, Don, for showing me this. Added to my Let's Eat South Florida favorite tries, which I
Okay.
didn't know was a thing you could do. So there you go.
Oh, people
Uh,
have lists. They compile lists
Yes.
because Lubie, I hate to call myself an influencer, but
You
if I could
are, as
maybe
weird
have
as that
somebody
is.
try something and they like it, and then they write a post on Let's Eat extolling the virtues of said place.
That's great.
That's exactly the whole point
point
of
of
what
this
we
show,
do.
yeah.
Yeah, it's the point of what we do on the lunchbox.
Yep.
And it
Page.
was the original intent of Let's Eat South Florida, not to kvetch about somebody didn't put ice in my
Yeah, not to hammer what you don't
soda,
like, to extol the
but-
virtues of what you do like.
and finding new places and just sharing it with people so that hidden gems aren't so hidden anymore.
As
And
critical as some of you are of us, because we go to places and they give us food, everything we're saying is 100% accurate. Like, again, I'm not one to run into some of the other chocolate places because to me, chocolate is chocolate. And again, I'm a big chocolate fan.
no, it's not
I'm a big
just
chocolate fan. Don't get me wrong, I am. But as we've learned about me on this show, I'm the layperson that food was just food for most of my life.
I think what he's saying
this
is
is not just chocolate. It's an experience. And it's the kind of
it's
thing that I could see
artistic.
wanting to try yourself.
It looks beautiful. It tastes great. And if you happen to have a pregnant wife at home
Yes, I
that
know.
needs some sweet treats, I would definitely bring home
I'm
a box of chocolate. And it's worth the money, worth
Oh,
spending
man.
a little bit.
There
Oh,
they
look,
are,
and
the
we got
macaroon.
macarons. Why don't we do a big finish with the macarons after we take
Yes.
our
That
third and
sounds good.
final break here on the Lunchbox?
When people ask me about the best restaurants in South Florida, Casa D'Angelo is always at the top of my list. First class dining, top flight service, elegant atmosphere, and chef founder Angelo Ilia is legendary. The flagship in Fort Lauderdale has been serving the finest Italian cuisine since 1997, with other locations in Boca Raton and Aventura. As Angelo himself says, they have an unwavering commitment to unparalleled quality with meticulous attention to details. It's so good, with house-made pastas, pristine seafood, unique meats like elk chops and bison, and seasonal specialties including fragrant fresh truffles from Italy. All locations open 7 days for dinner. Reservations recommended for a special occasion or any occasion. Casa D'Angelo. Tell them Mike Mayo sent you. Hey, it's Mayo for Gilbert's 17th Street Grill. You know me, I love family-run places with quality food at fair prices served with passion and pride. And that's why I love Gilbert's. For more than a decade, Lenore, Beth, and Richie Gilbert have been serving up the best burgers, wings, ribs, salads, and desserts. It's a fast casual spot. Everything prepared fresh to order from an immaculate open kitchen. They're at 1821 Cordova Road in Fort Lauderdale in the Cordova Shops just south of 17th Street. Open every day but Sunday. One of my favorite burgers in South Florida. Big, round, juicy pucks of 100% Angus beef, char grilled to perfection. And don't miss the sweet potato fries on the side. They're legendary. Go to Gilbert's, feast, and be happy. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Delicious Mexican food with innovative twists. Margaritas with a medley of tongue-tingling flavors. I'm talking about Taco Craft, Taqueria, and Tequila Bar. The place to go on Taco Tuesday and every day. It's located at 510 North Federal and Highway in Fort Lauderdale, and also in Lauderdale by the Sea at Plantation Walk and Coral Springs. Taco Craft has specials every day, including bottomless drinks for a Sunday brunch, and Taco Tuesdays, including their new burrito tacos with bone marrow broth. Oh, It's so good. They've even made a taco lover out of me, and they've got so much more, including fajitas, that open-faced smashed cheeseburger tortilla that's new, and a guacamole sample that's an explosion of flavors. The kitchen is open late. There's delivery and takeout. For more information, go to tacocraft.com. Tell them Mike Mayo, the Lunchbox, sent you. The finest quality, warm hospitality, and world-class creativity. Those are the ingredients that make Daniel's, a Florida steakhouse, a special place. Come experience the restaurant that's Michelin Guide recommended and totally Mike Mayo's Lunchbox approved, with an impressive collection of steaks, seafood, and more, like their foie gras creme brulee. Daniel's is located at 620 South Federal Highway in Fort Lauderdale, just south of the New River Tunnel, open Tuesday through Sunday for dinner. For reservations and information, go to danielssteak.com. Fresh local fish, a sophisticated setting. I'm talking about Corvina Seafood Grill. It's at 110 Plaza Real South in Boca Raton, just south of Palmetto Park Road. It's the place to go for the freshest and local seafood and fish, some of it with a Peruvian twist like their great ceviches. It's open 7 days for dinner. They also have happy hours 7 days a week. You don't want to miss it. It's a great place. CorvinaBocaRaton.com for more information and reservations. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. A tradition for South Florida sports fans for more than 30 years. Shenanigans. It's at 1300 South Federal Highway in Dania Beach, the place to go for all your favorite teams and events and food that's not your ordinary sports bar fare. Award-winning wings, burgers, fresh fish, and more, TV screens galore, and all-day happy hour specials. The kitchen and bar are open into the wee hours, perfect for late-night bites and very close to the airport. For playoff action, football season, and a good time anytime, Shenanigans.
All right, we're back on the Lunchbox. Again, Norman Love Confections, Boca Raton, 1200 St. Andrews Boulevard, right behind the Town Center Mall, right next to the First Watch here. Open about 7 weeks now, doing really well. Before we wrap up, and I got a couple of topics more with Lisa, the CEO, Lisa Fisher, of course, been on board with Norman Love for about 18 months. Before we get there, I got to just put out the good word about the upcoming summer event that the Lunchbox is co-presenting along with our friends at Even Keel Fish Shack in Lauderdale by the Sea and the Visit Lauderdale Food and Wine Festival, calling it Pearl Jam by the Sea. Pearl Jam, the band, will not be there, but you can be jamming to the pearls that you find in your fresh shucked oysters. It's a celebration of the summer season. Come in your shorts and flip-flops and all you care to eat oysters, along with this year we're going to have a nice big drum of paella and, of course, sparkling beverages, sparkling wines with a Bellini bar. And we're going to have music, and it's going to be a lot of fun. VIP tickets almost sold out. If you want to get the VIP experience, which is indoor seating along with extra goodies coming out of the kitchen, Dave and Brad are really looking forward to putting on a nice show. And then for the general admission tickets, you use the code Lunchbox. Promo code Lunchbox will get you an extra $10 savings. So those GA tickets knock it down from $75 to $65. Yep. You can't beat that deal. It's going to be August 9th, Saturday, from 12 to 3. VIP gets you in a little bit earlier. It's going to be a blast. Go online to oysterpearljam.eventbrite.com or just go online to eventbrite.com and do a search for Pearl Jam by the Sea. It's going to be a lot of fun. I am looking forward to it. It's year 2 and it keeps growing, so that's great. All right, Lisa Fisher, CEO. Before we get into the finale here at Norman Love, I was talking about another food topic. I love talking other things. You're originally a Pittsburgher. Is that the word?
I'm a Yinzer.
A Yinzer.
They call us Yinzers.
Yeah,
Yinzers. Okay.
That term freely.
Pittsburgher. I would say.
I leave it to you. I'm not trying to get in trouble.
I used to be a sports writer a long time ago, 30 years ago. I covered the Dolphins, and back when the Steelers were in the playoffs. Sorry. Not that the Dolphins are doing any better anyway. But
they just don't win.
Primanti Brothers, that is a Pittsburgh thing, but there's also locations down here in Fort Lauderdale. Not all over the place, but it's a, where they put the French fries on the sandwiches and you go in at 2 a.m. because it's open 24 hours. They have pizza. Yeah. What do you think of Primanti Brothers?
I'm a fan, but
Yeah.
the original, the OG, and
That's-
it doesn't have to be at 2 a.m., but it is tastes a lot better at certain times of the day.
The whole French fries on a sandwich thing kind of throws some people, but I like it.
You know the story, right? It was
What is
'cause-
the story?
well,
I don't
because
know how
a,
that started.
That's a depot down there for produce back in the 1800s, and the
Okay.
truck driver had a load of potatoes, and he traded it off, and then they couldn't drive and do it, so they stuck it all
Wow.
together.
They put it right on the
Mhm,
sandwich.
yeah.
And what the original one is? It's what part of town is that called?
Strip
That's
district.
the Strip District,
Yeah,
and that is
yeah.
still going strong, right?
It
After
is.
how
Well-
many years?
Well,
a
it has.
lot.
It's cyclical, right?
Yeah.
It goes on the wrong side, comes back up again,
Yeah.
and
I think I love those classic, places that you really, when you think Pittsburgh, you think Armani
Yes,
Brothers. So,
yes.
all right. Well, we've gotten that out of the way. What we haven't gotten out of the way is, the macarons are here. Macarons. Sorry.
Macaron.
Isn't he the Prime Minister of France?
Macron.
Macron. Okay. It's kind of close.
Okay, close.
But before we go there, I had a question because one of the hot topics in confections and chocolate has been this whole Dubai
Mhm.
chocolate craze.
It
Oh,
has.
I was gonna, my
And-
sister tried to do it at home the other day, and it wasn't bad, but
With the phyllo dough.
yeah, I don't know if it was what everyone loves.
Have you guys attempted it? Is it something that's on the drawing board, or you already say, you know what, that's a trend that's going to come and go. We're going to stick with our core product.
Yeah, I've actually read an article that said it's here to stay. It's not even a trend anymore. I feel like
Okay.
it's a core product. But
Okay.
we've always had a pistachio piece, so we're leaning into what we've always done. Pistachio has been a flavor that Norman went. He went to Sicily and picked out the Sicilian pistachios that we put in this piece.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
I'm going to pick one
Yeah.
up now. It's
Go for
another
it.
one that it
Yeah.
breaks my heart to
Yeah.
have to break this heart.
Yeah, and I will tell you, come back again when we release it because he's doing a revision on this thing that's just phenomenal. He's doubling down on the pistachio on the next revision.
Wow.
That's nice.
And we changed the paint up a little bit, so I'm excited because it's going to stay in the collection in the fall. You're just going to get a little bit of a facelift, maybe a little Botox.
Nice.
Sicilian
You're wearing-
pistachio. That is the chocolate that you make. Now, Lubie, can you explain to the audience, because this is your generation or Shirley's,
Okay.
what is Dubai chocolate?
I don't know. No, don't ask me to explain it. I have no idea. I know that. I guess it originated in Dubai, but it's not. Is it chocolate? It's not exactly chocolate.
It
like-
went viral because a small, I guess, a chocolate
maker.
shop
Mhm.
started selling it, and then TikTok, it just
Became a
took
big hit,
off, and
yeah.
then everybody in the world seems to love it or is doing it. Do you know what's in it? It's like phyllo
It's like
dough?
phyllo dough, so it has a weird consistency,
Yeah.
And it started, I think, as a bar, and the bar was over $100 if
Oh
I
my
remember
God.
correctly. The
Yeah, it's, like,
story,
weirdly expensive.
yeah, it was
I'll
really
stick
expensive.
with the key lime
Yeah,
pie.
I don't know. The one I tried, I
Petite
didn't enjoy that much. But
gâteau,
I
please.
It's got a weird texture.
Okay.
yeah, I didn't, it was.
Yeah.
It's like a creamy chocolate center. All right.
Yes.
And but again, you can find something that's a little
Yeah,
bit more minimalist and not
There you go.
$100. You get some of these Sicilian pistachio milk chocolate. Very, very nice products. So
Thank you.
yeah, so pistachio also available in the gelato, and
That's
that you're
correct.
saying is the #1 flavor of popularity.
Yeah, it's very popular.
All good. All right, let's get to the macarons. You want to take that final bite, Lubie?
And I'll do the mango. I know
you did-
you're not the
and
biggest
I'm
mango
not the
guy,
biggest
and you
mango
can-
fan.
and
I'm
I
going to
love
go
mango.
back to the raspberry, and we're going to just take a bite.
We have macaroons too, by the way. Macarons and macaroons.
Macarons. Oh, this is good.
This is fantastic.
Thank you. I like the bite.
I like the
It's
bite.
very authentic.
Could save this for the dental records. Send it to
Yeah,
my dentist.
exactly.
My bite is very
Mm.
even and delicious now. Yeah, I could,
That's
I could
wonderful.
dig this.
No, that's wonderful.
I mean, all these different textures and,
Yep.
the shapes and size, and it's all artistic.
And flavors, which is wonderful.
Lisa Fisher, thank you so much
Oh,
for
yes, thank you for
hosting
having us,
us
please.
today, letting us rummage through your entire product line. And I say, come check it out.
Yeah.
It now gets the official
Thank you.
100%.
double thumbs up, Mike Mayo's Lunchbox seal of approval. Norman Love Chocolate, be still my heart. I love the confections.
I like
Norman
it.
Love Confections
Yes, yes.
and
And
chocolate.
that name is fitting.
It is.
It
I wouldn't
is.
just call it chocolate because you get so much, so much more.
It's all here. Come find it. Oh, I never get hours, 7 days a week, or
You're going to put me on the
Oh,
the
okay.
spot. They're in summer hours right now, so look
Oh,
online
okay.
because we changed them.
It's right on the
Yeah,
door
it's,
there.
every
Lubie
day.
can run
They are
outside,
open every day,
Yeah.
Monday through Sunday. I see
Yeah.
hours
Okay.
from 8 to 7, pretty much every day.
Okay.
Yeah, and we changed it for summer. We'll expand them for the holidays.
Nice.
For
Yeah,
shopping.
I'm sure in
Yeah.
the wintertime when the snowbirds come flocking
That's
here,
it, that's
and
it.
you can come in.
Yeah,
maybe,
nighttime.
but this is for now. You got plenty of hours in the day to come
Oh.
pick up your confections, chocolate boxes. Makes a great gift, and don't forget, NormanLoveConfections.com.
Yes.
For
Ship it anywhere in the
online
States.
ordering, it makes a perfect gift. So that's it. Lisa,
Thank you.
Lisa, thank you so
I
much.
appreciate it. Tomorrow we're going to be at our Friday Fun Day spot, which is 10 Palms at Gulfstream Park. And looking forward to another great weekend.
Yes, sir.
And until then, enjoy every sandwich and enjoy every chocolate.